So, hello everyone, and welcome to the next milestone in my quest to bring the automation game world to life. Now it is 1870, and there were two major updates. One is passenger trains, so all countries have been busy extending their train lines, and also tools. So, for Gasmea, and here we see a new train. That's now, I think, yeah, pretty full actually, and making a slight profit even, so that's great. So they extended the train lines down from Crafton up to Harford and built a proper big train station as befitting a capital. And you see some buildings being upgraded, so there seems to be still some effect from all of this. So two lines, one line, a single track line to Springvale, which by the way had a fair part of the city center being demolished to make room for the train station, because otherwise I would have to put it on the other side of the river. And here is the tiny train, which is probably not that... Oh, it's actually quite full now, 12 out of 14, so that's great. They also got a proper bus line in the city, so that's this what's that color? Teal, cyan, whatever. Here, so that passengers are moved away and to the station pretty quickly. Also, I think most coach lines have been dropped in importance, so I think these are on their last legs. So the Crafton to Springvale and Lawson to Springvale. I think they're still sort of competitive, because the alternative is to go by train to Harford and then down here. That's the second new part, the bigger one. So across a pretty extensive bridge network from Harford, then across the lakes, Lake Hepping, and then into Crafton to this new train station. So this has been had been a single terminus station before, and now it is a proper large train station, allowing both through traffic and also stops in each direction. So I built these that they're basically fit to be extended with two trains, so there are passing signals and stuff like that, so that I don't have to start fiddling with things if I want to throw a second train on it. And then Lawston is still this terminus, which may or may not be long for this world, depending on what the extension looks like to other cities and countries in the next 5 or 10 years. So here some, or at least one route has been discontinued, so Lawston to Crafton is not a coach line anymore, because there is now the train, and that's faster. I think this had also some effect where people from Portaminta are going via ship, so we can just check that. So 10 to Crafton, even 6 to Harford, so that's certainly new, and so that the ship gets a little bit more busy. I can probably check. Yeah, 12 people. And also over the history we probably see a slight increase. Yeah. So over the entire life, a slight increase in passengers, and that are those connecting to the trains, so that speed matters where people are going. The adhesions, not to be outdone by the Gasmeans, also have extended, so we still have the terminus station in Berlau. And here we have the train, which has simply gained a few more wagons, because I want to keep this Swiss train. That's a starter train, but that's now almost full. And also making at least some hint at a profit. And now taking people in for a journey, so still to Meereshofen. Meereshofen also got a big rework to fit this train station in here, with this slightly odder layout of half of the town being up in the hills and the other half being along this coastline. Also some slightly unfortunate things because the trains have to be level, so this is actually a valid street. It will be very funny to watch horse carriages go up here, but I don't think there is an easy means of going around that with how the city is layouted. Also, just an interesting quirk, this is how these painted on water texture look like if the city's built into them, so I guess the town here needs some fences so that they don't extend into the water. And if there are objects placed on the ground, they don't expand beyond that, even if they're just tiny fences. Anyway, after Meereshofen, it goes past the Klaffenstein mountain to Friedheim. And they have also a nice big train station at the foot of the dormant volcano. Bit of a rework as well to cut the city in half, so here are still a few remnants. These seem to be actually less than they were before, so I guess they are now migrating downwards here, which is highly desirable, because this is actually intended as a through street, and Friedheim is more in this area, so that's great. Yeah, it also has this bus connection between the lower parts of town, the upper parts of town, and the train station, because now the challenge is to move people around the city quickly enough so that they actually can then board the trains again. And here we have a healthy number of people waiting. And it goes even further to the terminus station, which is currently at Salvis, and they also got a bus line or a horse carriage line through the city again to move people quickly enough. Fruinia, as you can see, also they were quite busy building new passenger trains. Oh, and here is something. Oh yeah, here is that's the effect of not being able to move people quickly enough through the city. So we have 44 people, which is almost the entire population. 2/3 of the entire population waiting at the trains at a bus stop, and yeah, so that's something I have to work with. They probably have to get a tram, because with horse carriages you don't have any kind of capacity. So here is the train, or one of two actually, because this is the second version, the a second generation train for the EU car set. And since they built quite a bit of trains, so from Terzo, and you see plenty of people waiting, so they can now go to Raikanta, where the terminus is. That's a new terminus, and then all the way along the coast from Terzo still to Porto Castelfranco, so that was the previous line, I think. But I rebuilt the train station here with a better connection, and then the city can grow into this area, hopefully. Then across this part with a bridge, and here we have the train going in the other direction into Viestella. So Viestella also get this rather big train station and the extension away from the coast, so that this actually fits nicely, and the curves are reasonably fast. And we also a couple people waiting, and this is also very full, so these trains adequately sized. And then even further on into Marina, and Marina is currently the terminus for the Fruinian coastal connection, because I've stopped listing all the town names here, and I also gave especially Marina a decent bus lane through the city to move people about, so that they can board trains quickly again. So that's passenger trains in Fruinia, and Archana also, they have been busy with other things, which I'll get to shortly. But they have also extended, and here you see both trains in one shot. That's great. So we still have the train line down to Mara, which is now still not that popular. But those would probably be on this train. Now disembarking, and the other train line now goes north east to Bazara, so across the mountain ridge. So out of Kronagrad, across this road, or this path at this point in time, through a tunnel at the peak, and then down into Bazara, and then have to come down from the hillside, and then they also got a train station here, which is currently the terminus. This will be expanded towards Alrima, mainly for cargo at some point, because as we'll see in a while, Archana has really terrible geography, and it's a real challenge to get stuff into the basin from the coast and vice versa. And also, so the Kronagrad Bazara coach line is now dying, so that's the last ridership, and this will be then probably going pretty soon, because of course the train is much faster than having the horses go across the mountain ridge, and the only traffic left here is the bread line from the food processing plant to Bazara. So that were the trains. The other thing that's new is tools. So we now have bricks, I think, almost everywhere. A few cities in Gasmea are still missing bricks, so this is now sort of working. Yeah, these are some teething troubles when there isn't enough supply. So I have to, yeah, this is not doing anything. So I have to fix that. So most cities should get bricks, or can get bricks, at least theoretically, if things are working out. So for Archana we have two lines, one at the southern coast, so from this quarry here via ship route, and these light red colored ones down to here. I think this one existed last time already. The second one is now running, so Nakulik all the way around the Archanan country to Tzliza, then via horse carriage, so that's half of these here, to Bastuk, then via ship to Novobeskov. Here is the return, bringing bricks when this line has still worked. Stones are dumped here in the Novobeskov, and then via horse carriage to the construction material, and then if this weren't stopped, then these would be producing bricks and then sending them all the way back. And then this one would then distribute to Sarki, Glensk and Ruvatka, and as you can see here, yeah, there at least Glensk still has some, whereas Ruvatka, they are probably then here blocking the entrance. Tools are new. So the tools factory is also in Bastuk, because I think it was hinted at in one of the cyclist lore. This is the one big industrial center, so that's why I put lots of industries here that are actually producing end products. One is tools, and they need lumber. There is a lumber mill here, a sawmill here, but this mountain ridge is probably at the capacity already with grain and bread and with stone and bricks, so I didn't choose this one. I rather chose the south, bringing logs from Charybda to the Abavesna sawmill, then to Yelta, so that's these dark brown lines. I'm not sure you can see them that well. And then here we have the same idea, so getting tons of horse carriages, carrying the lumber and then also the tools on the way back. So as you can see here, and this seems to be working, across the ridge towards Sarki. Then it's loaded onto a ship. So here we have six waiting, and this ship is just coming back, and this is just taking off with the lumber across the river to the Vashduk Tools Factory. So here to the port. The port is in the catchment area, and so the lumber that is dumped into the Tools Factory is then converted into tools. From here, Vashduk is supplied. Novobeskov is supplied on the way back, so the ship stops here and then dumps the tools onto the cargo station, and then the same horse carriages that just brought the lumber take the tools back across the ridge to supply Kurlin and to Scala. So there are still a few cities in the north, so Nakulik, Mentash, etc. not getting tools at the moment, but yeah, I will probably in the rather near future try to get a train line through here, and then it's considerably easier getting stuff across this mountain ridge into the north coast. Let's see how that plays out. Is this stuck here, or is this just full? No, this is just full. This is actually working, and yeah, they're struggling to get bread across because this line is clogged. And also this exchange is overflowing with stone and bread, so this is certainly at the moment seriously capacity limited, and this needs to have trains for bandwidth. So Fruinia also has now tools. So again, this light brown line, that's probably not that well to see. So from the Kalidas forest all the way across the Fruinian coast to the sawmill at Vistella. That is now working quite nicely. Yeah, then this is taken back. So here you see ships coming full of logs, and the same ones returning with the lumber. The tools factory is in Padita. So here we have this nicely clogged stop, because this waits for, and I had a bit of a jam somewhere, so I guess that's the side effect of that. Normally there would be plenty of stuff to go through, and since we have the stone coming down here and lumber and tools going up and down, this is also start to getting clogged, but there won't be trains because this is basically straight up the mountain and you can't put trains here, so I'll simply have to wait for proper trucks to get rid of all the horse carriages. And then from here we have supply to Porte Imen, so the ships simply take a bit of lumber back. Can we see one here? No, not at this point, because it's still the after effect from one jam that I had, and this is just getting back into the rhythm. So these lumber will set these in motion again, and then tools are being produced. Here are a few tools lying around. Yeah, so these tools will be taken to back to Kalidas, and then with horse carriage to north to Porte Imen, and also then via ship to Meranio, so ship to Fanella port, and then via horse carriages, and here still a few running up to Meranio. And the Estella also takes some tools in the process. No, the Estella is being supplied by Hetvesia, so that's the next one. So Hetvesia tools, a short line from Gronwald to Schuffenthal, the sawmill. That's horse carriages just dealing with 2/3 of the entire forest output on this very busy road. But it works, so I'm keeping it. And then tools are being produced. And the lumber is being produced here. Shipped the rather short way to Gernau Tools Factory. And then back to Meereshofen, which needs tools. So that's this line, and also then the Gernau factory. One other line picks up the tools. That's the stone and bricks line from this quarry on the way back from Marina. They pick up the tools. Yeah, this one. And then they deliver the tools to Via Stella. Gasmea. So here, same story. Lost Nuclear's forest has its own port, getting to the sawmill on the other side of the river here, north to Crafton, where we have the tools factory. From there, Crafton is supplied, Lawson with most carriages from here. There is one currently going down to Grafton with the same ships that have been taken. Have been taking the lumber north to the tools factory. They take some tools back. They also dump tools here because of the second ship line that goes to Ochia on Vianta with tools, and then north to Eastport. So we don't have tool supply yet in the north. Highport, CB, Kronhaven, Hammersbach. That's then something for the future to work on. I also need enough bandwidth here in the tools factory. Aylesbury also needs some, so that's still something to work out. So I think that were the two big things that have happened in the last 5 years. So trains, passenger trains exclusively, no cargo trains yet. This will probably change now. But I'm also waiting for decent locomotives because cargo trains are heavy, and if I have them, they need to get across mountain ridges, so towards Aylesbury here, probably through here, and this is steeper than it looks. Ask the horses trying to get up to Aylesbury. And also, most certainly here from Vashduk to Tzliza, and then that I have an easier time shipping stuff out of the Archanan Basin into the north, and then supply a few more cities. We'll probably start to the passenger trains to extend things further and close gaps. So from Raikanta to Kalides, Porte Imen, and Leningrad at least. Here to connect the gap between Salvis and Marina. But, this of course requires two countries to agree on something beforehand. Same here with the gap between Lawson and Karlstadt, and I'll probably extend things to Peña because there is some demand there from Lawson as well. Then to see what I can do in terms of getting bricks to Lawson and Peña, getting tools north to CB, Kronhaven, etc. Next up is probably going to be machines. So machines, what I currently have, need steel. Steel need coal and ore. And the other thing that machines need is lumber. So lumber already exists, so I just have to extend the capacity. Probably chuck a second forest each on the sawmill, so each sawmill can deal with 2 forests, because this is currently working at a fraction of the capacity. But the big thing is we'll be getting 2 ore and 2 coal to steel mills to have 1 piece of steel. And yeah, this might just be limiting just with doing with horse carriages. So let's see how that goes. But the alternative would be oil, and oil is something I leave last because oil wasn't that important in 1870 anyway. And I figure the steel stuff will take a fair while. So that's then the plan, the next 5-year plan, since we are in Archana anyway. But I don't think 5-year plans would have existed in 1870 just yet. More passenger train goodness, and getting bricks and tools everywhere they should be, and otherwise trying to hook up steel mills to get steel being produced. So otherwise we're simply taking in the big impressions that the map is currently pretty busy. It's not the right level of detail where you can see the white vehicles moving about. And all parts are getting busy, so here we are getting also decent ship traffic on the rivers, and also the first decent ship traffic on these Great Lakes. This will, I think, change a fair bit once we get steel, because here is steel, here is a machines factory, and that will then lead to more ship traffic. So stay tuned then for the next update for 1875. And as a bonus, we're having a train ride from Kronagrad to Bazara with this passenger train. So it's currently unloading, and yeah, we happen to see the train coming in from Mara as well. And we're taking off. So now we're going across the mountain road from Ghana to Bazara. This oil rig isn't working yet. I'm not sure why these things are moving. There is Alrima in the distance, and we are entering the grand station of Bazara with plenty of people waiting. That's great. Alright, so this was again interesting, And then, yeah, see you then for the next update in 1875.